Hey, welcome to Early Access Control Alpha, Beta, and Abandon. And what we're doing right now is we're taking a look at The Last Leviathan. This was released by Superpunk Games June 22nd, 2016. Looks like it sold a fairly decent amount of units, which is great for an indie development game. It looked like it has some pretty good reviews when you kind of see this kind of thing. So it can be definitely misleading when you're looking at this project or if somebody came by it in the early access section of Steam. So you got rock paper shotgun saying, you know, giving some input. Yogcast says it's fun. It is older, so the relevance with like people like Yogcast and stuff like that isn't as strong as it used to be. But back then, it would have been a pretty good decent amount of hype for a launch like this. What you have is a shipbuilding game that you have missions inside an open ocean world with some islands, and far as I understand, there's no player character. Your ship is your character, and I've played a little bit. I've done a couple missions. The scope of the game seemed to be heading in a decent direction. World full of rival ships, mythical monsters, wreck, flotsam, puzzles, and hidden treasures. So there was an exploratory vision for this game. Definitely didn't make it there. The last update was in 2019, I want to say, and it was just a small update. So you got plenty of people in the community, and they're wondering, hey, where's our monsters? Where's our hidden treasures? Where's this game going? And unfortunately, there's absolutely no info from the devs. There was never a roadmap, which is, one of those things that drives me absolutely bonkers. Tell the people where the game's going to be in a couple of years if you want them to stick around. So when people launch a game like this and it doesn't have that, I just don't understand it. Because you can't do that kind of thing. You're setting yourself up for one of the factors of key failure for early access games. The Superpunk Games, they have flagged it as a beta. Betas usually mean it's pretty close to being released. It's in the last kind of phase. Who knows? Closed open beta. It doesn't really matter at this point, because the stuff that they were talking about, bringing it out of there, you'd think there would be something on the horizon about some of these mythical monsters, or anything, and it wasn't there. So it's probably not a beta. It's probably just an alpha. But it's a really polished alpha, and I say that because I have played a couple of missions. I've had fun building the ship in it, and we'll dive into it right now, and you kind of see where it stands. So the shipbuilding's kind of cool. Like there's been other games like this out there that are, you build your machine or your vehicle, and then you try to destroy other vehicles. There's Terratech's one of the games that kind of pops out in my mind. I'm not sure how many seafaring ones there are, but those are kind of like a match-based, like PvP type thing, whereas these seems to have missions and challenges for you to do outside of wanting to fight other ships and be in kind of a versus mode. I do appreciate that aspect of any game. I've touched on that in many of my other videos, but you can get the kind of idea what these are. Complete open. So basically, you build a ship and you tour around. There's absolutely nothing in the world except for some plots of land that you can't even get out of your ship to explore. So don't expect too much with that. Versus, you can fight people, events. Looks like they were intending to do some events. I can't really find a way to change the sound quality on this. So I had to decrease the sound in the settings in my computer settings. So we'll stick to Crusades. I've done a little bit of them. So I can 3. It says 3 can be improved, so they have a rank system of how well you do in your progress or the mission. So out of 3 stars, these are called Crusades. So 3 stars being the max that you can do. And what we're going to do is we're just going to check this out, and that's a pretty badass ship. It is pre-built. It's not mine, but for all intents and purposes, you can go back to the ones that I loaded. Janky ship, massive sail. It's terrible. It doesn't really do anything. So the one cool thing about this game is that you can actually build a ship, and if you build it small and very maneuverable, it's going to do well. But if you build a big galleon like this, it's clunky, it's strong, it's fortified, it's got a ton of like firepower. And for what this is, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to fight this mission, which is normally involves me killing an NPC ship. And then you see how well you can do it. So time being a factor, probably time being the factor to complete the mission is probably what gives you the 3-star rating compared to that 1-star rating. Using your mouse button, holding down shift will give you a firing arc for your cannons, so you can see them kind of going over the water on that side and on that side. And then steering is just WSAD. It's a ship, right? So they're not super responsive. These little floaty things are the missions that I've already done. I don't really know how to restart one if I want to improve the thing, so I've been a little bit inactive, so I'm seeing some friends pop up in chat, which is fantastic, because I haven't been making videos lately, and now I'm kind of back on the roll, which is good, and I'm appreciating any input from anybody that's part of the community and that enjoys these kind of things, like, or you know, like that. We don't enjoy like giving people shit, but we want to see what's done right, and we want the people that spend the money and support games, that we want everything to be done right by them or for them, by developers if possible. But COVID was a very negative time for everybody, and it really didn't feel the, you know, I have a video coming out about what has happened to me over the last couple of years, but this is a race. Oh no, I can't do a race. This is actually new, so it's giving me the opportunity to change my boat. So I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna play this. This is actually my first time seeing a race. The other things were... Oh, yeah. It's going to take some trial and error to try to figure out a good ship that's actually going to do well in these races. But I appreciate seeing this, devs. Like, you know, these kind of events probably would be pretty fun if you're racing it for, you know, with people and ship designs and make it a big deal around the community. But all that momentum and possibility for those kind of things has kind of been lost, strictly with the fact that you guys have gone cold, and you're not telling anybody about the future of where you want this game to go. The ball's been dropped, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to pick it back up. And that's kind of how it goes when you have development that doesn't fill in their community with what is going on behind the scenes. And you can't blame people for being frustrated and being upset about it. I really wanted to show you kind of like how it is to fight people. Oh, I can shoot at them. Ooh. That makes it more fun. See if I can actually hit this guy. If you click on your cannon, you go in first person mode. Oh. Nice. He's firing back. Love it. If you guys could see my concentration face right now, ooh, not pretty. Oh my god, it's super hard to do this. One iteration that would have been cool for these devs to have is like, you know what? Let's chill out on the waves. Let's dial this these 16-foot tappers down a bit so you can just have a nice flat ocean to kind of cruise around, because it doesn't have to be like this, man. Ooh. Okay. I'm getting out. I quit. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. Surrender. So basically, the physics-based fighting system, battling system is pretty cool. You can send. Sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked here. I'd really like to redo a mission. Wherever your cannon strikes, it literally blows apart those blocks. So, I mean, if you run over a rock and it's on your boat, you're going to put a hole in the boat and you're probably going to sink. And it's kind of cool that way. I do appreciate that kind of thing. It's just not like chunks of your random ship just falling off. I'm just going to do this quick to see if I can do one of the earlier missions. I'm not 100% sure how they work, but this is a terrible boat that I actually made. Terrible. Oh my god, I'm at 10 minutes. This is the longest video I've ever done. Which is okay. I really need to, in the future of these videos, I really need to start covering some alpha betas. There are some games that I'm super interested in. And I always like following certain games along, and those games that are still chugging along with those negative reviews that you know, the developers are persevering. They're near and dear to my heart because I know how hard it is to kind of do development, and yeah, it's one of those things that I should pay more attention to the ones that are trying to succeed and doing things right, rather than just the ones that fail. But fortunately, the ones that fail seem to be so much more readily available on Steam than the other ones. So I'll see if I can do this match. If I can't do this match, we're just going to end it there. You don't really need to see too much about it, because they can be kind of challenging, as the controls of the ship are super, super hard. And oh, okay, nice. I did 2 stars on this. We'll play. It's cool that you can kind of upgrade your ship if you want to try for a better star rating than you have. Now that I know you can actually go into first person, when I first did this, I didn't know you could do that. Whoa, dude. Concentration phase is... Oh no, I'm dead. Well, you can kind of see, like, now I got no rudder or rear weight. Sit and duck. Ooh, I'm gonna flip. Expose that hull. Get a big hole in it. Okay. Last ditch attempt here. Oh my god, it's so hard. Yeah, I'm done. Done ski. Wow. So there it is, guys. I've died. I got blown up. That is okay, because I did do alright the first time I played it. And we're gonna head back to the main menu and we'll wrap up the video. So once again, you can't really support these projects, even though it was in a pretty decent state when they went and decided that they either didn't have the funding to continue developing, or they didn't want to, or they got, you know, maybe this was just a kick at the can or whatever it was. But it's unfortunate, because we can't understand your problems unless you share them with us, and we can't support you guys unless you guys give us the insight to what's happening. So with that all said, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Gave you some insight and closure into it. And let's cap it off as being abandoned. And like and subscribe, and let me hear some feedback, whether or not you know, I'm on the right track again, and if there's things I can do to improve. And thanks a lot for watching.